We had a guy sign up on Sunday, the 26th, complete his entire onboarding, set up his numbers. By Monday, the 27th, he sent out a bid and got paid in full in 77 seconds before he
Yes.
left the driveway.
Yes. Hey, welcome back to the Land It podcast. Tonight's guest is somebody who's been living on both sides of the industry at once. He's out running a mulcher and clearing land with his dad through Clear Ground Land Company in Murfreesboro. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes, sir.
Tennessee?
Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
All right. But he's also the guy who got frustrated enough with pricing jobs on the fly that he went and built his own app to fix it. We're going to dig into that. The app is called LandWorkPro, and it's built to let you stand on the property, talk through the job, and walk away with a bid, a signed scope, and a deposit before you even leave the driveway. Please welcome the owner of Clear Ground Land Company and the founder of LandWorkPro, Carson Cruz. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Josh. Excited to be here, man.
Yeah.
Ready to get into it.
Well, I was telling you earlier, like these guys, hate just hearing from tech guys, which I know you're not only. You have built this app, and we're going to get into that in a little bit and why this is going to be a huge deal for a lot of you guys listening right now. But first, let's talk about your actual land clearing company. Let's talk about you being in the trenches or out in the field, man, as an operator. So take us back to the start. Like, how did Clear Ground get going? What made you bring your dad in? Give us those details.
Absolutely. It's actually the opposite.
Is it?
Because it's the opposite. He's been wanting to get into land clearing, really forestry mulching, for probably about 6 to 7 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And every year he'll talk about it and just like, hey, man, what do you think about this? Like, would this be a good idea? Would this be even worth it? And for my day job, that's something that I'm pretty big on is just the online space. You know, what's the market doing? Is there enough demand for it, right? And when I looked into just forestry mulching by itself in Middle Tennessee, there's really not a whole lot of competition for what you think initially online. And I knew right away the best way to beat everyone is just better website, better quality, better SEO.
Yeah.
So I saw the opportunity and I finally told him, I was like, you know what? Like, let's go for it. You know, we can test the waters, see what the market says, and go from there. And that was in April, beginning of this year.
Nice.
So,
okay.
Still pretty new, but still rocking and rolling.
Yeah, that's cool. So you're mainly forestry mulching, land clearing, right? Or do you guys do other stuff?
No, we're mainly because we're still new, right? And we're still like, we don't want to bite off more than we can chew.
Yeah.
So we started with just forestry mulching. My dad's been a heavy equipment operator pretty much all of his life. So very, very comfortable operating those type of machines. But we don't have a ton of experience, with grading work, like the land clearing side and the excavation side. So just wanted to get our toes in the water, get comfortable and just figure it out as we go along.
Yeah. So mainly the forestry mulching, land clearing. Yeah, I get the whole grading part. Other guys we've talked to, say they start with what they know and then they add on stuff as they grow, right? As they're figuring stuff out, okay, now we've got this dialed in. We know how to do this. What's another machine or another operator that we can add? So what do you guys have plans to get to that direction where you have?
Oh, yeah. Because at that point, it's a delegation for us.
Yeah.
Once we got the forestry mulching side locked down, very comfortable, can knock it out. When we're ready to grow, it's filling in the gaps. So if I don't have the experience, or if my dad doesn't have the experience, I'm gonna have to find someone who does have the experience.
Yeah,
right.
For sure.
So that will be the next big step, is to go get another employee who does have that grading, excavation, and more specific land clearing experience, and then we can start opening that up as a service. But so right now we're staying busy with just the forestry mulching side.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, in Middle Tennessee for sure. What did you guys start with, purchasing machine, or did you guys rent?
Oh, no. Yeah, no. I do remember watching one of your videos where the guy was like, nah, you gotta have a lot of money
to
just start out with buying a skid steer. So we started the rental route. We developed a good relationship with a local dealer and rented through them, and we continue to use them. They've been great, but we're definitely approaching that space of like, all right, it's time to buy, go all in, and really start hitting the gas.
Yeah, for sure. Are you guys going to buy new or used?
We're big fans of quality,
I know, right?
I don't mind spending money for something that's going to last and
Yeah.
it's going to work and maintain myself. You know,
Yeah.
so my dad's the same way. If you never know what someone else ran that machine through or the upkeep on it or the maintenance on it. So I would like to think we're going to buy new, but we
Yeah.
may go the total opposite direction. So
Yeah.
who knows?
Yeah. What machine are you using right now? What's your like
We're
go-to?
using the
Cat?
Cat
Okay.
299 D3.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Very
It's a
cool.
big boy, but it's perfect for us right out the gate because it has enough high flow into it to really just get that mulcher head going, and it'll tear anything up
That's good.
right away.
I feel like I get a lot of guys who ask, especially on our Facebook side, like they're like, "Man, what's the first machine I should start off with, and how much land do you think I can really clear with that?" So I know that every machine is different. Also, what state you're
different.
in is different. Underbrush and how big are the trees, what kind of trees. So in Tennessee or whatever, what would you say? How much land could you clear with that?
For with the Cat 299, excuse me, we can do about 1.5 to 2 acres a day, of course, depending up to the vegetation. If it's super light, I mean, it'll just go through it like it's nothing.
Yeah.
But if it's pretty thick, I mean, it's going to take some time to not only chew it up, but then to let it reset, get the flow going again, and then get after it some more. So for something that's like extremely thick, extreme density, probably about half an acre a day, maybe. But usually it's about 1.5 to 2 acres.
That's cool. Well, I'm gonna ask you in a minute about LandWorkPro. I want to talk about this app today, but one last one that I'm sensitive to, I think about, is like when there are families working together. And I've heard other people bring this up on the show too, like whether it be siblings or parents. And so for you working with your dad, what's that like? And would you recommend it, to others?
It's I mean, you just gotta understand how each other works, right? Especially like father son dynamic. Growing up, you're gonna butt heads and you're gonna agree to disagree. But me and my dad, we play our strengths very, very well. Same thing with the other owner, Gregory. We have like I'm the back end. I do a lot of the marketing, the operation side of the business, the getting the lead flow, and make sure the schedule looks great. My dad's a blue collar guy through and through. Yeah. So when you tell him anything about AI or technology or this and that, he just immediately shuts his head off.
He's like, "What? Never mind. Just give me the machine.
I don't care." Exactly. So he loves getting into the nitty gritty, getting into the day to day with the actual clearing of the work side, and so that's what he does, and it works great. So he's out in the field day to day. I'm the back end, keyboard warring it up in the office.
Nice.
And we both love it. So
and what's the other partner's role? How do you split your third partner up? What's that role look like for him?
Yeah, so Gregory helps us not only with like the finance side of things and partnership deals with that end, but also with me on the marketing when it comes to our performance ads with Google or Facebook, or even just like overhauling the website and getting that up and going. So he's been critical on like just getting the ball rolling, while myself and my dad Jamie get the operations of the day to day.
Okay, very cool. Yes, that's kind of neat, especially the size you're at and the length of time you've been at it, to have you fully working on marketing. And for those listening, I know oftentimes we'll interview clients. Carson and his team, they're not one of our clients. And so when he's talking about marketing, he's really talking about like the stuff that he's doing, right? You guys don't have an agency?
Yeah. No, it's all me.
Yeah, that's great. And then to also have another partner that's got some knowledge on it too, to be able to help support that from the get-go. How important is that for you guys? Or has that
extremely been? Because two eye, I mean, you're about to say it, two eyes are better than one, right? So how I'm looking at something, or my perspective of something, could be completely different than what he's seeing or what he's reading.
Right.
So again, it's just playing each other's strengths and mitigating our weaknesses as much as possible, and just making sure we never lose perspective. That's the number one thing.
Yeah. Well, let's switch that gear, man. Tell me about LandWorkPro. Tell me what it is. Tell us how you got into it. I know there's a story here. I didn't want to say your story for you. So tell us about it though.
Absolutely. So well, what LandWorkPro is it's going to be, and it is, but it's going to be one day the all-in-one tool for all landwork trades. So ideally I would love for everyone to really just drive to it, but it needs to prove itself. And how it started was probably one of our first 2 or 3 bids back in April when we were just getting started out. Um, I just realized there was nothing made out here for us. Like there's no specific tool or bidding tool, software, CRM, whatever you want to call it. There's nothing purpose built for land clearing, for forestry mulching, excavation. So we started out with Jobber and GoHighLevel to run our marketing, and Jobber to run our quotes and scheduling and whatnot.
Yeah.
And just try to duct tape it all together with a Google spreadsheet.
Yeah.
And I just felt like it was way too complicated. Our pricing kept fluctuating. There was never a set number of like with all of our materials, all of our costs. This is our true, daily rate, or things that we may be overlooking that could increase our profit margins even higher. I couldn't find a tool out there that was already designed or made like that. I saw a lot of softwares or tools that are more so made for everybody, but not great at just one thing.
Yeah.
And so that's what I want LandWorkPro to be. It's just really dang good at anything land clearing, forestry mulching, excavation, anything with the landwork trades.
Yeah. So, for clarity's sake, it's a pricing app, right? Is its primary thing, right? You can bring in your leads into the system like GoHighLevel does, because we use GoHighLevel for all of our clients, and we have some of them who use Jobber, and yes, we have to always kind of duct tape that together to make it work. So, to share, like, what's the big idea between the GoHighLevel and the Jobber that you've made into this one app?
Absolutely. Well, it started as just like mainly a pricing tool, a pricing and bidding tool. Because not only was that our biggest problem just getting started out, of truly understanding our numbers and how do we stay profitable, especially while we're renting, because that just drove our cost extremely high. But also, like, what else could this be used for? And so as I'm thinking about this in April and in May, I'm talking to other companies of what they're using. So, tree service guys, what guys do you use? Or excavation guys, what do you use? Most of the time, people are just using like a pen and notebook. There's nothing.
Yeah.
So it started off with pricing and bidding, and as we have grown so far, it's evolving into the all-in-one thing. Not only can it price and bid your jobs based off of your numbers and no one else's, it can also schedule all your site walks and your jobs for you. It can also have a pipeline, so you see your customer history and what jobs were done and when it was done. You can log your expenses and tag those expenses to those jobs, and it will auto-calculate your true cost for not only that job, but for the week, for the month, and for the year. So it will be everything: a scheduler, a CRM, a pricing and bidding tool, and whatever else the real operators need to run their business.
Yeah. It's cool. And guys, I've actually logged in. I've been playing around with it. And there was a couple of features when I first found it that I was like, okay, that's cool. Because I think there's a lot of guys out there that are using AI to build some cool stuff or whatever. And a lot of it's just informational. That's what I found. And we've hired an AI specialist in our company just to build stuff. And again, what I'm finding is, I mean, we've spent thousands and thousands of dollars on this stuff ourselves. But what we found is it creates a lot of informational tools, great dashboards, great, analytics and things like that. But functionality, I haven't seen a whole lot of stuff come out, right? And so there's a couple of features on your app right now that I'm like, okay, it was like, these are the two things that really stood out. Like one of them was the voice feature, right? Being able to walk a job site talking at the app, and it's calculating stuff in the background, which was super cool, which I want to ask more about that. But also the map feature, to be able to draw stuff out, plot stuff out in awkward shaped plots or acres, things like that, pathways in addition. So it's not just one big radius circle, but you're like, no, I can get exact on this
exactly
map.
what I need.
And they want a trail over here that's not connected to that circle, and another trail over here. And so like hunting lanes and things like that. Tell us about those features, because that's the real seller to me, that I was like, okay, I like this. I'm ready to talk to Carson. This stuff's pretty cool.
I appreciate that, man. It is hard. And you're absolutely right. Everybody is using AI now to just make their lives a little bit easier, or even to run their business and understand their business a little bit easier. The interface portion is easy, but the back end of getting this to speak with this, or this to go here and this to go here, that's the hard part that not many people like to talk about.
Yeah.
But the satellite feature and the voice to bid feature. The voice to bid, I'm a talker. I don't like texting. I don't like
Sure.
talking. If I can call you, get it over
Yeah.
with and done, I'm gonna do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
So that's where
even
that came
myself,
from.
I'm noticing that I'm speaking to my phone a lot more than I ever. And there's
Hmm.
also an app now I have for my laptop that during the day I'm finding myself struggling to remember how to type because I am speaking into text a
So
lot with a
much.
lot of different apps
Yeah,
now. But again, yours isn't just to take notes, but it's actually calculating stuff too.
it's
So yeah, go
calculating
ahead. I
everything.
didn't mean to
Hmm.
cut you off. I just think that's where we're all headed is more talking.
No, it's perfect, and you hit the nail on the head because that's exactly what it's for is to talk,
Yeah.
right? One of the first few bids that we did when I noticed with my dad is, he was walking with the customer and just like taking mental images and just listening to what he said. But when we got back in the truck or when we got back home to fill out the bid, some information was lost
Hmm.
along the way, right? Or he couldn't remember, one thing or another thing, or same thing with me. It was like, what did that guy say
Hmm.
exactly? Like, where was this one
Yeah.
area you wanted done?
Yeah.
So the voice to bid, I made it for the reason of when I arrived to do the sidewalk with the customer. As I'm walking with him and as he is speaking of telling me what he's done, all I need to do is just hit that record button, and it's going to pick up everything that he says, everything that I
Hmm.
say, or talk to it. And it's kind of like two things that go together. The reason of how it works is what you do in onboarding, what you do the very first moment you sign into the app,
Yeah.
which is set your trades and set your day rates.
Right.
So everything that you set, your numbers, your what jobs you do, what offers you make, it's all based off of you. The
Hmm.
voice to bid, the brain behind it is trained on the vocabulary, but you set the numbers. So it will never pull or make up any other number other than what you set in your settings, and you do that through onboarding. So that's how it
Yeah.
works for that feature. For the
Right. So that's
satellite
how it's
view,
calculating because you already know your base numbers, but now you're letting it do all the work while you're speaking and talking about what you see. Right.
exactly. I can
Yeah.
say, hey, I just arrived at Josh's property. He's at this address. He tells me he wants acre and a half of light forestry mulching, vegetation cleared up, mulched in place, and you know, and he wants to get it done in the next 2 weeks. I
Yeah.
can say that it's going to build me the whole quote. It's going to autofill your first name, last
That
name,
cool.
address, phone number, and then based on what I put for my forestry mulching numbers and how big the property it is, it's going to tell me, hey, it's going to take you estimated wise this
Yeah.
many days to complete it, and based off of this many days it takes you to complete it is how it gets that number and add it
Nice.
to the bid.
That's so
It's
cool.
pretty cool.
I think
Mm-hmm.
that's wild because again, it's most guys using paper, but even if not, GoHighLevel has a bidding feature as well. But you've got to type it all in every single time. You can
Type, type,
create some
type, type, type.
templates or whatever, but it's a lot of like, okay, repetitive, do this, and with yours,
Mm-hmm.
just to be able to have it all like voice to bid is pretty cool.
Yeah,
And then you
just
can
whoop.
edit it, right? You can make those edits, changes, what before
Oh
you
yeah,
send that quote out. But
nothing is set in stone until you approve it.
yeah,
So whatever the voice to whatever the voice to bid picks up, it's going to ask you to review what it billed for that quote. So that
yeah,
way, if there is anything wrong, or if you need to add more to it, you'll be able to see it, approve it, and then before it ever gets sent off to the customer.
yeah.
And that's
That's
something too. I don't know if I mentioned with LandWorkPro, everyone gets an individual number automatically assigned to them. So
mhm.
the moment you're finished with that bid, it's going to ask you to send the bid off, and it will automatically text it to the customer.
That's so cool. Yeah. Because you're basically, like you said earlier, we're eliminating a couple of these softwares and putting the best of those things with some additional
All in
features
one.
all into one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd said earlier, and we talked about this as well, that we've only got a couple of the trades, right, that have an instant
Yeah.
price bid, but things like excavation and things like that don't have an instant bid. So give
Mm-hmm.
us the explanation on that.
Yeah. So the main thing, and it comes down to just protecting you as a
Uh-huh.
operator. I don't want to ever put anyone in a position where they think they're covered or they think this is good, and
Mm-hmm.
it ended up being a different story. And so with excavation work and demolition work, from the guys that I've talked to, there's a lot of permits that you got to pull, and there's a lot of markers that you got to make, and 811. Like you gotta understand all these utilities that may be
Yeah.
buried and where they're at. That I didn't feel comfortable just automatically having that
Yeah.
number assigned in the bid. So it'll still let you build a bid. It'll still give you a number, but before it approves that number, it's going to tell you, hey, a site walk is needed before this bid goes out, or before you like finalize this number.
Right.
Just to, like there's some type it's called something, but it's basically like a safety check for yourself. I'm just like, hey, don't want to mess anything up, just in case, go visit this and just double check that this is accurate.
Right.
That's all.
That's cool. Yeah, and it totally makes sense. You want to avoid some of that if you can. But I know you're still, like you said, you're still working on ways to keep improving and adding, so you can keep getting those features added for those other trades, right?
Exactly, and that's the beauty of LandWorkPro that I think a lot of maybe like the bigger companies have lost, maybe like Jobber or GoHighLevel or other companies. And I don't want to talk bad; they're all amazing software for their own purpose. But I feel like they've gotten so big to the point that they're maybe don't listen to like the feedback of their users.
Yeah, it can happen for sure.
And that's the complete opposite of LandWorkPro. It's not just me building it; it's us building it. What do you need for your business in Texas, or in Pennsylvania, or California? Because it's all different. What I charge here in Tennessee could be completely opposite of what you charge in Texas or what you charge in California.
Right.
The terrain type, is going to be completely different. The vegetation, the tree, everything is different. Right. So I need to know. I'm just one guy here in Middle Tennessee. I need to know what are things like out in all these different states. And the only way to build the app and the software correctly is by having direct feedback from you guys and building it with you along the way.
So the other cool thing is that map feature you have.
I love that.
Like I used to own a lighting company, and also have epoxy flooring company I used to have. But on the lighting company, we would have to use like Google Earth or Google Maps, and then do the distance tool. And it was clunky, and it was like complicated. I had to use it on my computer because it wasn't as good on the cell phone. Like yours just seems way more intuitive and a lot easier to use on the app. What are your thoughts on that? Like how much work went into getting that piece figured out?
A lot, to be honest with you, a lot of work, and a lot of conversations, and just a lot of sweat equity, to be honest with you. But I partnered up with a company who is one of the largest parcel data companies in the US. And so they have it all. They already have the software built out.
Oh, cool.
And so I just partnered up with them and talked to them about, my vision with LandWorkPro, how I could see their software, their features being added into here, and what exactly that would look like. So the coding portion of that was easy, but the integrating into it and then having that everything that you draw on that satellite map, that's what's going to be on your customer's quote that you send out.
Yeah.
And the whole purpose of adding that in the first place was because of scope creep. Someone saying like, oh, I thought you were going to do this, or oh, I thought you were going to do that. Big eliminating the he said, she said. And it's like, hey, before you pay me a nickel, this is the exact work we're going to do. Here, you can visualize it yourself, see it yourself. It then makes them not only type out their name, but also sign it to approve the quote. And there is no question about the work that's being done and what's agreed upon.
Yeah.
So that gets saved to your operator's database. Once the customer signs, the quote, then the payment options will open up, and everything is easy day from there.
Yeah. And it's real clear to see boundaries. You're like, okay, I know the edge of this property's here and it's over here. And you're showing it to them. Look, here's how I've drawn it out. Confirm or not, right?
This is your exact parcel, your exact boundary line. So there's no like going into your neighbor's yard or going to somebody else. It's all mapped out for you. So that's something too, Josh, that I would like to talk about for a second, is that I don't want to overcomplicate LandWorkPro by any means. Smooth, as smooth and frictionless as possible is like our number one goal here at LandWorkPro. And so I don't want to keep adding on more and more and more features, but I actually want to add things that benefit the operator to help them know their numbers, help them grow their business, help them understand their bottom line and their profitability. So like what you see today looks good. What you see in 3 months from now could look 10 times, 100 times better. And again, it's just direct feedback from what you guys need. and me implementing it into that.
Yeah. Which that was another thing that I liked when I was researching your company was you even put it on your homepage like, hey, this is a together thing. And if you have any issues or
Yeah.
you want to see other things, like email me right now
Shoot
or
me a
text
call,
me or
shoot
call
me
me.
an
Yeah.
email, shoot me a text. I'm on all the time,
Yeah.
and anybody can ask you who's already inside our Facebook group or already using LandWorkPro. Within 24 hours of you signing up, I'm giving you a
Mhm.
call. I'm asking you questions and just building a relationship there.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, trust, transparency, and communication is just the
Yeah.
foundation of all relationships. So
Yeah. I mean, so
I like to
I
reach
mean,
out.
you've been testing this on your own company on Clearground, right? So
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
what was like a feature that like you tested with this and then realized, oh, we broke it. And we need to add, change, edit to make sure this is even stronger after testing it on your own company.
Yeah, the voice to bid, to be honest with you,
Oh yeah.
that was probably one of the hardest things to overcome and to
Okay.
get right. And it's still like there's still some tweaking it could be that can be had for it, but it's at about a 93-94% accuracy right now.
Awesome.
So it's and it learns from you. So
Yeah.
the more people that use it, the more people that sign up, join, and continue to talk and talk and talk and talk and talk to the voice to bid,
Right.
the more vocabulary it's going to know, the more numbers it's going to know, and just the more accurate the entire engine becomes. But
Yeah.
that one took some time to just
Yeah.
really crack
Well, it is
correctly.
one of the things that I think is really cool about your situation is that you're not again, you weren't just a tech guy who was like, let's just do, and hope this
Mhm.
works for this industry. You're like, no, we have our own company. We know
Let's
what
figure
it
it
is
out.
needed. And now,
Mhm.
we have like real data based on our own experience with these types of customers. And so we know what we're looking for our own company. And therefore, other forestry mulching land clearing guys are probably going to get the same value out of it because you're already using it and trying it on your own company and seeing what works and what doesn't work.
Absolutely.
Right.
Hmm.
So that's a big difference between a lot of tech companies and stuff that because, again, as a marketing agency owner myself, we have a lot of tech companies we're connected to. And we've found that a lot of times they're just tech people and they think in terms of the tech, but they don't think sometimes in what do we need? What do we really need out in the
Yeah.
field? And there's where it gets missed. And so that was one of the things I thought was pretty cool about your situation was that you have a company and are doing this as something is a service to your own company and therefore others.
Yeah, you
So
got to know your customers, but you also got to understand your own limits,
yeah.
right? We're brand new. We're not even a
Yeah.
year old yet. So assuming or even thinking that I know everything about
Sure.
forestry mulching, land clearing, this or that is just crazy talk, you
Right.
know? So I don't have an ego. I can humble myself
Yeah.
enough to be like, hey, I don't know about demolition work. Can you help me understand like what you do, how you price it,
Right.
and just what your day to day looks like?
Right.
And
Well,
overall, it is going to feed everybody and benefit everybody. It's
yeah.
not only today, but in the long run.
Well, one of the things though I like about this as well is that you aren't saying what the preset numbers need to be because honestly you can't. This
No,
wouldn't go well if you did because working with companies across the nation, the pricing is all over the map. There are some
yes,
areas where a $1,500 a day job is actually not too bad. That's actually pretty competitive there without being like the cheap guys. But then there are other places where $5,000 a day is the norm, and everything in between, right? So it's
hmm,
good that you allow each guy to set up his own based on his own numbers, like what's your day rate, what's your crew rate, what's your fuel cost, all this stuff. And so now as we're going and bidding and doing stuff like that, it's pulling from their own numbers and not
their
just
own numbers.
pre-assigning
Yes.
these numbers. I did
Exactly,
like
not
that.
what Jack said on Facebook or not what you Googled,
Yeah.
for what does this average cost? It's
Right.
truly based on your numbers, your data, your jobs, and
Right.
it continues to learn your business. It's not like
Right.
a one time you said it and forget it. You said
Yeah,
it
that's cool.
once, but as you go along and the more data that
Right.
you feed this brain, those numbers just start to get better and better and better and better.
Yeah.
So super
That's
cool,
cool.
man. But
Yeah. So,
yeah.
what are the numbers that guys normally get wrong on this? Because this is a combo I have all the time with our own clients. This is a combo we have here on the podcast with guys who are like, it's really just my, gross profit.
Mhm.
What do I charge the guy minus my fuel costs and my machine costs, and there's my profit, right? Like,
Mhm.
how does that play into LandWork Pro? Figuring out what real numbers are. What would you say that should look like?
Yeah, that was a big thing at the beginning too that I just caught on pretty quickly was that a lot of people don't know or don't factor in like
Yeah.
my maintenance costs, how much
Yep.
these teeth on this
Yeah.
drummer head cost,
Yeah.
fuel, labor. Like they'll pick 1, 2, or 3 things, but they won't factor everything into it.
Right.
So their numbers will always are going to be off, and then they're going to wonder, dang, dude, I did twice as many jobs as this year, but I'm just a little bit more profitable this year than I was last year.
Yeah.
What's going on? It just comes down to not knowing your numbers and not knowing the
Right.
math behind it. So understanding like your insurance, what
Yes.
you pay for that. That's a feature that we added this week based off of feedback. Understanding your marketing budget, factoring that into your costs. Some guys want that. Hey, let's get it added in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Fuel, maintenance, and anything that just like your labor or your day-to-day operations that you may overlook, but it
Right.
actually does add up in the long run.
Right.
So those would be a couple of things that I've noticed that people just aren't thinking of. They're only thinking of, hey, this is what my machine costs, the monthly payment. Here's the fuel. Here's the
Exactly.
grease. Here's the labor. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
When there's
and it's
12
not.
other things. It's
Yeah, and
not.
it's
No,
not.
that's exactly. It's
There's
not.
so much more
And
cost
they
you gotta be
wonder.
thinking about.
Yeah. Because that was the thing too. Another guy said was like, man, like I keep pricing my jobs and I'm expecting to make at least, $500, $600 per job, but I keep falling short, like $200, $300. Well, what are you not adding, or what are you maybe overlooking,
Right.
missing out on, that's truly affecting your costs? Because it's not just you're going to pay for it regardless, whether you know it or not.
Yeah.
LandWorkPro is here to help you know it and to adjust as needed.
Yeah. What are the costs for this app?
The cost for the
I'm sorry,
operator?
operator. Let's say I own a company, I'm ready to sign up. Like, what are my features I'm getting? Are there different packages? What are those costs?
So the starter plan is $29 a month, and that just gives you, it still gives you a lot of the features like the satellite view, the voice to bid, but the AI intel is limited.
Okay.
The AI intel is the brain that is taking all this data from your receipts, your costs, your labor, your profit, your revenue, your jobs completed, the job scheduled. It takes all of it, and it helps you grow your business over time. So that's limited to, I believe, about 20 intel insights per month, which is still a lot. You'll still learn a lot about your business. And then same thing with like the voice to bid. You'll only be able to use the voice to bid so many times. And the reason why a lot of this is designed the way it is because I don't like people having to go and sign up for like 4 or 5, 6 different things to do one job, which is what I was facing at the beginning of our days. So we absorb a lot of the cost, the usage to use the voice to bid. Every word you say costs money.
Yeah, so there's a cost.
LandWorkPro absorbs that. The phone number that automatically gets assigned to you as a business number so that you can send automatic text messages or automatic schedule appointments. That's another thing. Every text message you send, there's a cost to that. But we absorb it. Same thing with the satellite view and the parcel data and the boundary data. For the starter plan, it is limited in a way for how many times you can use the AI intel or how many times you can use the voice to bid. We'll find better solutions for it. But for the pro plan, that's $99 a month, and there is no limit. You can have as many users as you want. You can have as many AI intel, voice to bids, satellite images, everything that you need as I would say probably like a 2-man, 3-man operation. Pro is your go-to for sure. If you're bigger than that, if you're running 3, 4, 5 teams and you're all over the place with multiple equipment and a lot of equipment, probably the fleet plan would be best for you, which is $249 a month. That also has everything included inside of it. And then the starter plan, I forgot to mention that it is only to one user. So if you're just starting out like I was, I think the cheapest jobber was like $99 a month or $127, and that's if you get the yearly plan. So the monthly plan,
prepay to get that discounted rate.
I accidentally paid the yearly plan for Jobber because I just saw it was a cheaper price. I was like, oh, like this much a month, cool.
Yeah, I love how they sneak that in. They have it already.
They snuck it in there. They got me with it. Yeah, they got me with it. So I mean, here, like in my opinion, now that I've seen like how these softwares are built and the usage behind it, do you really need to charge like a crap ton of money per user? No.
Right.
Do you need to have a super expensive $400, $800 a month subscription fee just to use the platform?
Right.
No, no.
Yeah.
So I want to limit the cost as much as possible, and over time, the more people that use it, the better and better and better it gets.
Right.
So the lower that barrier of entry is, and the more value that the app gives off, I just feel like that's a win-win situation for everybody.
That's cool. Yeah. And you say on the website that you guys have the, win a job in 30 days or I refund it guarantee, and that you personally look at the emails that come in for feedback. So, how does all this fit into making sure these guys feel like, all right, he's listening, this is going to work. It's not just some, off the cuff little AI thing that he's hoping to scrape a bunch of money from us on.
Absolutely. I'm a big fan of white glove service. So
Yeah.
how I, if I've never used software before, and I think of my dad a lot when it comes to just how I carry myself in the day to day, because my dad isn't a tech guy at all. He does not like, apps or phones. If he just wants to play with his hands, like go out and play with the dirt, he's cool. He's happy with that. So I know there's a lot of people that are in this trade that are exactly like that. They're not tech savvy. They've never used an app before. So I just wanted to make it as super easy, super as simple as possible.
Yeah.
And if you want to mind, what was your question again?
Well, just that, like them getting a discount, you checking those emails, like how
the emails. Sorry.
Yeah, how does that help people really feel comfortable working with you?
Yeah, so that's what I was leaning into.
Yeah.
And I apologize.
That's
With my dad not being tech savvy, he's going to need someone to help him get set up to use the app and to understand it for himself, because we are the type of people of, you can show me something, but in order for me to learn it, I got to go out and do it myself.
Yeah.
So that way I can see what I did right, what I did wrong, and what areas I need to improve on. So I'm the same way. And I want to carry that, and we will carry that for every single person that signs up. I'm giving you a personal phone call if you are okay with that.
Nice.
Or at the very least, I'm sending you an email or a text messages just thanking you for signing up, asking any questions that you may have. And then, we're jumping on with them as needed to just make sure that they have a smooth experience. Yeah. So if you do sign up, expect a phone call from me. Pretty sure
Great. So where are we headed next? Like, what's kind of on the horizon? Maybe you can't say it, but if you can, like, what feature or features are you like, all right, this is what's coming, this is what we're working on. Can't wait to get it out there.
Absolutely. So the biggest thing now is now that we got the scheduling done, that came out this week, we have the CRM, we have financing approved, and we're going to get more financing partners to allow the operators to offer that for their customers. That was a huge feature that shipped out recently. And one thing that I am very, very excited about is just the payroll and the HR side.
Oh, nice.
I'm seeing that become a bigger thing for the bigger operations.
Yeah.
But I don't have too much plan regarding what the actual full. I do have one. I do want to become more of the go-to place, not only for land work trades for operators, but also for customers, homeowners as well.
Oh, okay.
If we can create enough supply of operators across the entire United States, and these homeowners are already searching for them, how easy would it be to be able to be like, oh, you're in Texas or you're in here, you have an operator that does this type of work 10 miles away from you, 15 miles away from you. So something like that, I think would be on
that's cool.
The forefront, but it's just more so making sure, does it currently work? What can we add? How can we polish it? How can we improve what's already here before we start adding on more stuff?
Yeah. That's cool. So the guy who's just kind of flying blind with his numbers, right? Like, he's still running his equipment. What advice do you give that contractor?
Before you do your first job, figure out your number, like your true day cost. Because if you set your foundation wrong or on the wrong foot right out the gate, it's really hard to dig out of that hole later on.
Yeah.
Depending on when you catch it, right? So you truly got to understand your numbers. How much does it cost you? Just cost you to run that machine, to use that operator, to get from point A to point B with this equipment and whatnot. I think if you can do that first and you have your pricing figured out, or as much of a foundation as possible, the next thing would just do good work. do good work by people. All you have in this life really is your reputation. And so word spreads fast, especially in this field. Neighbors talk a lot.
Right.
So, and they're going to see you when you're out there. So just be professional, show up on time when you told them you're going to show up, and go a mile above what you quoted them. A mile. That's a saying my dad used to say, but just an extra mile from what they told you you were going to do, and just help them out.
Yeah. Go above and beyond. That's a big one. I got a 15-year-old son, and we've been having that combo a lot lately. You say you're going to do this thing, and I want you to go above and beyond that thing, and it'll play out. It'll pay off down the road when you become a man and you're doing this for others. That's what.
Never do the bare minimum.
Just and under promise, over deliver. Like that's
exactly
another goal and we do that here at BLUEGOAT as well. It's like, we've got some clients and stuff who are like killing it, and so of course my sales team wants to like just showcase that, and I'm like, but you've got to under promise, because if you just keep saying these gigantic things, then everyone thinks we're going to grow you into a gigantic company. But under promise, and then if we over deliver, it's like, oh yay, that's great. So
everybody can talk, man. Talk is cheap. Actions and follow through is not. So I'm a big fan of saying, don't talk about it, be about it. Don't tell me, just show me, so it sounds like it's the same way too. I love that.
Well, tell everybody where they can find you and get their hands on this app. And I know we talked about that. We have a discount code as well. So we want to get you guys, a deal as you head in, especially if you're trying to just try this out and give it a shot for a little while. So how do they get the info?
Yes, sir. You just go to LandWorkPro.com. One of the first things you'll see in the top right corner is free trial. So if you click on that, you'll have 7 days of free pro features to sign up with. If you use the promo code BLUEGOAT, you get the whole month. So
let's go.
It's really technically like 38 days for free. You should more than definitely win a couple jobs from that time.
Absolutely. I'm like, there better be no refunds if you're using our promo code. You better be closing jobs.
That's a big thing. Everyone who signed up so far, there hasn't been one like, dude, this just sucks. It's been like, holy crap. Like, whoa, you can do this? I've never even thought of this before. So I think over time, and the more people that sign up, the more people that join and give me that feedback or just communicate with me, man, it's to the moon from here.
Yeah. That's how I felt when I played around with it. And thank you for giving me access, because I really wanted to mess around with that. It wasn't overly complicated. It was kind of cool looking as well, by the way. Your color and branding and all that's really on point.
Like that, blue
from the marketing standpoint, I'm like, that brand stuff's important to me. But just the ease of it was like, okay, I know where I'm going next. I know how to do this part, and I get it. I'm more technologically advanced, and you're right. Like we got a lot of clients where it's like we're having to hold their hand and onboard them. Like, here's how you're going to click this next and click that next. So it can't be overly complicated, or guys just won't adopt it. They won't use it enough. Yeah. And I did like the ease of some of that stuff. So I'd say, guys, if you're listening to this, land clearing, forestry mulching, and for sure even the other trades, like, get in on this. And just like Carson said, you guys got a discount if you use BLUEGOAT as your promo code. You guys are going to get like 30 plus days, 38 days to play around with it with no fee. But get in there and check it out, because it's actually really cool. The map feature and the voice to bid feature were my two favorite features in there. And just like Carson said today, there's a bunch of new features being added that are helpful, not just to keep it busy, because GoHighLevel and stuff, I love them, and that's still what we use with our clients. But there are a lot of features we don't even really use for our clients, because it's just what they tried to do was they tried to build it for 100 different industries, right? So you've got to make these peripheral services, because that's what that industry wants, but these industries don't want it. But then you got to build something for them too. And so what I like is this is for these guys. And so you're getting rid of the fluffy stuff that you don't need, and you're adding the stuff that they definitely do need, because you've tested it on your own business, which I love, and are continuing to test it, and then getting feedback from guys. So I love all that, man. Carson, thanks for being on, dude. I think this is going to be really helpful for guys, and just appreciate you. So
thank you, Josh. I appreciate you, and I appreciate your time today.
Yeah. So if you're listening, like, subscribe, love it, share it, leave a review if you're on our podcast streams, whether it be Amazon or Spotify. And if you're on YouTube and things like that, go subscribe. But we'd love to have more guys join. We've seen a lot of growth in this podcast just in the last couple months. It's kind of amazing to see, and I think it's showing a lot of guys in this industry are hungry and starving for stuff that's for them. Right? Like that was part of why we started this podcast. I was like, there is no podcast for land clearing and forestry mulching guys. There's like one or two for excavation and stuff, but even then, it's not a whole lot. When you look at like roofers and stuff who have like 100 podcasts,
all the software,
and they got all these softwares and all this stuff. It's felt like the dirt world guys have just been like the redheaded stepchild or something in the stuff that's given to support them. So I'm all for that. Whatever helps these guys get better at what they do, better, faster, stronger. Man, I'm all for that. And this is one of those apps I think is helping these guys out. So again, thank you.
One cool number real quick, if you wouldn't mind, is that we had a guy sign up on Sunday the 26th, complete his entire onboarding, set up his numbers. By Monday the 27th, he sent out a bid and got paid in full in 77 seconds before he left the driveway. So that's where that saying comes from. Win more jobs, get paid faster. Send a boat and get paid, or send a bid and get paid before you even leave the driveway.
Well, in general, I would say even if you're not using an app, that's just good business for this industry.
That's huge.
And a lot of the services, right? Yeah, get paid on the site and quote them on the site. Don't say, okay, cool. We'll take all this info and I'll reach out on Wednesday. No.
A couple hours next week.
Do it now. Find a way to do it. And again, that's the whole point we're talking today. Like there are apps now, or an app now that helps you do that on the spot. So you're going to close more jobs if you offer it right now. And if you're doing residential, offering financing as well is instead of it being a $10,000 job, it's now a $450 a month job. And that's easier pill to swallow residential than $10,000 job, which they just don't have 10K laying around. So
you got it, Josh.
Good. This is good. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for being on. We'll see you in the next episode. See ya.
Bye, guys.